Global Familia, welcome back to episode 22 of Chatter Dogs. With me is my boy Owizi and our IT guru, which Owizi will introduce for us, which is a familiar face now on the show. But over to you, Owizi. What's happening?
PD, my main man, what's happening? Good to be here. Another interesting show again. And as we mentioned last week, our homeboy from the hood, Bandit, is back. Bandit is back
Bandit's back.
to crack and to hack. So yeah, PD, last
Which
week
is what he does.
we briefly touched on, and in previous episodes as well, we've touched on the effects of hacking and databases getting stolen through all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. And the previous episodes go into detail on that. But today we're going to have what's exciting is the actual live demo of how this actually works and how we fall for these traps and disguises and all sorts of things, which is really quite interesting to see. So, Bandit, welcome to the show. Good to have you back. Please take us through all what you've got planned for this very interesting episode.
Cool. Well, firstly, thanks guys for having me back. Thanks Owizi. Thanks P-Dog. I like the sunglasses. It reminds me of.
Thank you, bro.
John Goodman played that actor. What was it with the dude?
That's right. That's John Goodman, Mr. Fred Flintstone. That's how I remember him.
Yeah, look, I think last time I was on the show, I said, I want to come on again and just sort of demonstrate a couple of live hacks, something that just can educate the audience around things in terms of, what they should look out for and what is possible, right? Like, I mean, we all hear these things about, I was hacked or someone stole information from me or accessed my files. And it happens a lot, right? And I think what's really important is the stuff you don't hear about, right? The amount of times that it happens that people don't actually talk about it or mention that, they were victim to something like ransomware or things like that. So, look, I'm not here to educate you how to hack. I'm just here to show you a live demonstration of what's possible and just a bit of a fear factor part to say that, it is a bit scary when someone can break into your private network and have a look around and take stuff that doesn't belong to them. It's theft, right? So, and we can have a chat about general internet safety, what to look out for, what not to do, what you should do.
Bandit, I need to. It's so true, and it's actually scary, frightening. I mean, in the last week I've received emails from DHL, from SARS, the revenue services. I've received where people saying, where it says and it looks so like real, like it's from these guys. The way these guys that are, let's call it, I don't know what you want to call them, hackers, fraudsters, thieves, criminals, whatever you want to call them. How they set it up. Even the email almost looks genuine, and they put the little link there. They say that, there's a postage ready for you. You need to click here and pay 80 Rand and then it will come your way. Or the receiver says, there's a refund of 25,000 Rand. Click on the link for your refund and all the. And it's so common in our everyday, let's call it operations, just viewing of emails. I mean, there must be one or two at least a day that I receive in my personal capacity. And it's frightening. And it's so easy to fall into this trap. I mean, let's admit it, guys, times are hard, the economies are tough, all over the world. People see that people are desperate. When people are desperate, they do stupid things. And sometimes they know that, I shouldn't be clicking on it. But then they see something that somehow rings a bell of hope inside of them. And what do? They click and they fill it out, and that's it. The ransomware is activated, or they've just lost a lot of money because of this type of theft or criminality that's going around out there, But and that's why I think that's why it's so important. This episode is to create obviously awareness of what and how easy it is to fall into this trap, Bandit.
Yeah. No, you. I think you hit the nail on the head there. There's two sides to this as well. There's the other side, which is the opportunistic criminal that wants to
Yeah.
get your information or get your money or get whatever they can and then use it against you in a malicious way. So yeah, there's a different class. Like the landscape's changed now, right? These guys are a lot more educated. They're a lot more tech savvy. They know how to take information and mimic something that a bank would send you or your local post office. And it does lure certain people, especially the demographics of older people who would typically click on the links or read the information and then see the truth. So you really need to be careful when you look at these emails and you look at the links or what you have to click on. I mean, if it looks funny, you tend to want it is funny, right? Like, I mean, and a bit of common sense applies as well, right? Like your bank's not going to tell you anything about dollars or money or ask for your account numbers or I should accept something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be conscious around things like that. And always just keep front of mind, right? Like they'll try everything, right? There's SMS tactics, there's emails, there's websites that they'll lure you to. So yeah, they're attacking on all fronts, right? They're gonna find a way to get you, and they don't have to get you; they just need to get someone, right? And it's all a numbers game to them. And
it is. It's
all adds up, yeah.
It is. It is a numbers game. It's the process of elimination. I think what irritates me and cheeses me off the most is that these are, like you said, Bandit. They are clever individuals, intelligent individuals. If they use their intellect for something more resourceful, can you imagine what they could achieve? This is almost like the easy way out, if you want to call it that. And for me, that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? Owizi, I don't know. What's your thoughts in this regard?
Well, Pedi, I think one has to come back to the economic climate that we're living in today, where everything's expensive, we're struggling, finances are low, unemployment, inflation, rising interest rate, all of that stuff we've always discussed. It's well on the up and doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. So people are out there, looking for a break, looking for a little bit of something of hope, that glimmer of hope. Oh, here's a nice little tax refund for me. I could use this for school fees, food, petrol,
Christmas,
whatever.
Black Friday.
Yeah, exactly. So any little form of an incentive, almost like a little bonus that, hey, I never thought of this, and this is coming at the right time. I could use this. Let's check it out. Oh, it's only going to cost me 80 Rand or $2 or $1. That's all right. I mean, but my question is, surely, and this reminds me of back in the day where this was done in the post. You would get something in the post saying you've won a car. Please pay the registration of it into this bank account. You like a fool, go and do it, and you never ever get your car. So I think it's the same trick relayed in a different way coming through the electronic means now, which is a lot quicker, a lot more potent, faster, and then you can get if you're the hacker, you can get that result a whole lot quicker. So yes, we are not tech savvy, are not able to recognize these things that quickly. So yes, Bandit, please help us again.
Sure. Yeah. No.
Show us what it's all about.
Okay. So we're gonna do 2 hacks in this session today. The first one is I'm gonna send P-Dog a link and ask him to click on it. And it would be good if you can maybe share his screen so you just get a feel for what he's looking at and what the user's going to do. So I'll sort of step you through what's actually happening here, right? So in the mind of a criminal or a hacker. So what I've done is on my back end, I've created a link, and the purpose of this link is to fool my victim, right? To you, the user, to potentially click on it and then give me access to some of your stuff, right? So typically what I would do is I would disguise this in something that you would that would make you believe it's true, right? So it'll either be from something like a reputable source or in this case, yeah. So this is a link that I've sent, for a potential social app, right? So, hey guys, I'm a struggling developer, a new app. I just need some testers to help me beta test and nut some bugs out. Here's my link. Please have a look. Just see if it works. Click continue. If you just click continue there. So I'm fooling you into going to the site and you accepting it. Because number one, I'm sending to you. I'm a friend. I wouldn't do any harm to you, or it's coming from a source that you trust. But now, what's actually happened here, right? So the app's done nothing, right? It just said coming back soon, and the world's spinning. So there's some belief that it is a potential app, right? That might amount to something. But what actually has happened in the background is you would have been presented at some stage with some options that says please allow access for the browser and please allow access to my location, right? Because typically these social apps, it will sort of pair you with friends in certain areas or whatever. So location is something you're going to want to allow the app to have permission to, right? If you want to use a social app, right? Facebook uses it, the others, all right? So if we come back to my screen and share it, I will show you what's happening here. So this is my backend, right? So I was monitoring this the whole time. I sent you the link and you clicked on it. So here's some information if you guys can see this quite clearly, but it's given me quite a few things, right? And these are important to a hacker, right? The first one is your IP address. This is your public IP on the internet, right? So this is how I connect to you. And this is the IP address that your service provider provides to you. Right. It also tells me you're on a Mac OS. All right. Cool. You got a Mac. Maybe you got some money.
Sorry, Bandit. Can you make it a little bit bigger for us? Just a little bit bigger. I think the screen's just. And then I can see it, but I think so that everyone can just see clearly. Yeah, 100%. I am on a Mac OS, 100%. I was using Chrome. Yeah. Correct.
Your browser versions now. This might not mean a lot to you, right? But it means the world to a hacker and someone who's busy doing reconnaissance, right, on you, right? I want as much information as I can. All this tells them and builds a profile on you, right? So you have a Mac. Macs tend to cost a lot of money. Maybe you have a lot of money. I don't know. You're using Chrome. So already I know that you're sending a lot of your information to Google, whether you like it or not. I can see your browser version. Most people know that browsers come out in different versions because of security vulnerabilities. So I might see that, this particular browser, I don't know for sure, but I'm just saying, like, I could see that you may be on a potential browser that has, a security vulnerability that I can exploit. CPU is undefined. That tells me maybe you're on a new MacBook, could be an M1 or M2. Your resolution that's your resolution. Tells me your time zone, you're in South Africa, tells me the language, and then the number of cores. But more importantly, it gives me a Google Map link to your location.
Wow.
Right? So
that is frightening.
Let's see where you live, P-Dog.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. That's it. That is frightening. Absolutely frightening.
So all that from 2 clicks, right? One to click on the link and one to give me access to your location. And I got all that information. And now I can park this to the side. I can save it and come back to it when I need to, because I know a bit about you now, right? I can work on getting more information as I go on.
That's scary.
So now that I have your IP address, I can do other sort of tests, right? I can run port scans. I can see if you're running anything behind in your network, anything that's exposed. Maybe you have cameras that you access on your phone. I can see if I can find them, try and get access to them. So it's just open up.
Just using the IP address. Just using the IP address. That's your front door.
That's your front door. Now you could have a firewall, and I'll figure that out, right? But I'll now start my penetration tests, right? Where I'm going to try every door, every window, and see what's open. And if something's open, I'm gonna get in and try and wreak havoc. So, yeah, that's as easy, and that was free, right? Anyone could do this, right? This hack's called Stormbreaker, where you leverage the website on your backend and you expose it to the internet. So this isn't something hard to do. This is quite a common one that you'll learn about if you sort of pursue network security as a as a skill. The second hack I already did on ODog earlier on. So
did you even know that, Oweezy?
Oh, easy. No. What?
I sent Oweezy a link much like you, and I asked him to investigate the app, and Oweezy gave me access to his webcam,
And you just clicked it.
Like
Oweezy.
hell. I would never give that.
Sure. Let's see what Bandit's got.
So
wow.
you guys can see my screen. Okay, so Oweezy, when you clicked on my link, again, I also got your IP address.
Jeez.
Wow.
I got you're on a Windows machine. It's version 10. You're also using Chrome. So another one who loves to send Google all their data.
Google.
Same browser version, likes to keep up to date. Using an AMD 64 chip. Okay, so 64-bit processor. You're also in South Africa time zone. You got 8 cores. Okay, so fairly decent laptop. Something worth stealing, right? But now what also happened is when you clicked on the link, I was taking snapshots with your webcam every 10 seconds.
You're kidding me.
So that's a bit scary because I've saved all the files right here.
Oh, no.
What?
Mug.
Is he picking his nose or something? Did you see that? No ways. Okay, it's pretty small. We can't really see, but
sorry, I'll put it in here.
yeah, there we go.
That's not me.
Hey! That is frightening. That is
if you look at
absolutely.
the metadata of the image file, it was taken at 7:22 my time, PM. That's Australian Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, this is sort of on par when you clicked on my link and you went through it. So I took about eight or so snapshots before you exited the link and
wow,
severed the connection.
But what?
Just for the record, that's not me.
It's your doppelganger. But what would people do with those snapshots? What are they looking to gain? Or is it just looking for some form of evidence to use against them and say, right, listen, you pay me X amount of Bitcoin and I won't show the world this picture of you picking your nose or something ridiculous like that? Is this pretty much what the thinking
I think
is?
any and everything is the answer to that question, because I mean, it's pretty private, right? Because I mean,
it is, yeah.
Most people leave their laptops open or their webcams. You know, they don't put. I know some people put like Post-it notes on their camera because they're just paranoid, which is a good thing. But you know, because you just never know, right? And I've just proved again how easy it is to get that access to a webcam. And yeah, I mean, some people, you know, will do whatever, or you might see information on someone's computer, right? I mean, it's offices, people sit back to back. You might see some information on someone else's screen that could give you some sort of advantage about something.
Passwords, everything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So in the mind of a hacker, they're all about information. It's all about the data, right? They want to get as much as they want, and
Yes.
when we look at hacking sort of at an enterprise level with big companies, I think on average they posted most hackers would typically spend 21 days on average in the company's network before they're either exposed or they exit, right?
Wow.
So that's
crazy,
21 days of camping in your house, going through your drawers, your fridge, your cupboards, looking around before they decide, okay, I'm off to the next place.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's all about reconnaissance. It's all about information, understanding, where to get information. In fact, one of the things people actually use to start off with, right? If you look at in security, we look at what they call MITRE. It's an acronym for the life cycle of hacking attacks. People typically, the first point of thing is if you said, hey, I want to hack Tesla, and you say, okay, all right, cool, let's figure out what's Tesla's domain name. So you want to share my screen again, and we'll just go through.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. There we go. Are we hacking into Tesla?
No, we're not going to hack into Tesla, but I'm going to show you something, right? So these are all sort of free to use commands. Anyone can use it. It's public information. I'm not showing you.
So it's open to the public. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you register a website, right, and you buy a domain, you typically buying it from a domain register, which means that there's a transaction that took place. You're paying them money, and you go onto what they call a domain register, where someone can actually access your website. Now, a way you can query that register is either by going online to view it, or you can do it from a command line, like what I'm going to do. So if I go, who is Tesla.com? Whoops. One second. So who is going to query the domain register for information about Tesla? I'm going to get some information back here, and this is all public, right? I'm not looking at any private data.
You're not doing something illegal.
Yeah. So it tells me a few things, quite a lot of information. It tells me the domain name. It tells me some addresses about it. And it gives me these name servers, right? So these DNS name servers is what is used to resolve IP addresses to names for Tesla. So once I know these name addresses, I can start poking around, right? Because now I want to start figuring out what is Tesla's IP space. Remember, Tesla's a very big company, right? They would have acquired many other companies in the past. Now, if you think like a hacker, you'd think, okay, if I took over a company and I sort of, integrated the IT systems into mine, I would have gone through a project. Something would have fallen along the wayside, maybe it didn't get finished or something. And I'm going to try and figure out what that was and go after it. So I'm going to start probing any and everywhere I can. So you basically start creating almost these mind maps of data that, okay, I know what Tesla's IP is. I know what the IP is. I know what the addresses are. I'm going to start figuring out, who the other subsidiary companies of Tesla was and what's their IP space. And then so you start drilling down until you start finding exploits, right? Or finding holes. And you start picking at those holes and you start trying to get into the network. And then from there, you start looking around. So, yes, it's there's a lot of things, you can do. Just from knowing simple things like someone's IP address or their address or who their domain is hosted with.
But Bandit, from our side, I always thought it was something where a bit more advanced in the sense of someone goes into your, the black screen like you are, but typing a whole bunch of commands, breaking through all, but I thought it was quite a process, but this was like a 2-3 click process to get where you are now. And that is frightening. I mean, it's obviously there's software now that obviously that they use to assist them with that. But look how simple this was. And that for me is, a company like Tesla's obviously got firewalls protecting firewalls, but someone like me or Oeezy at home there, I don't even know if I have a firewall. You get what I'm saying? And look how easy it is just to breach. It's so easy to just breach someone's privacy, just like that.
So this was Oeezy's IP address that I got earlier. This 105.186.252.
Giving more information out, Oeezy.
So if I try and ping it, it's not actually coming back with a response, which is a good thing, right? Because
yeah.
tells me either that IP doesn't exist or it's not responding. So Oeasy's obviously knows some people that's got his firewall on lockdown, so he's
Sure,
protected.
you're lucky, bro.
Oh, thank goodness. Bloody hackers.
But I mean, there's a lot of other things I can try and tell. Let's see if Oeasy, if I can access anything behind him on. Nope. It doesn't allow me. No.
At least you got something right there, Oeasy.
Wow. Well, yeah. Thank goodness. But I mean, this is all
But I mean,
without my knowledge. I would have no idea what's going on.
No. Unbelievable.
I'll run the same thing on your IP and we'll see what that comes.
Geez. Maybe I spoke too soon.
That's good. I can't ping it, which is another good thing.
Ooh.
Oh, thank goodness.
I still don't know if I have firewalls.
I'm just checking for standard ports that
Okay.
that may be in your internal network that could respond, and it's not. So that's a good sign. There's a whole lot of them. Typically, I would do a scan, which would take a number of minutes, if not an hour.
But all you need is, like you said, all you need is one penetration, one breach, one little soft spot on the IP where you can breach, and then it's done. Then you're in, and
I know I may have made this look a bit easy, but it's not always that easy. I mean, hacking is about knowledge, purely knowledge, right? It's knowing how systems work, what vulnerabilities existing systems, how they were built, and you attack it from what you would think a weak point is, right? So when people develop code, no one writes code 100%, right? There's always going to be a flaw somewhere, and someone's going to find it. You look at the amount of games that get cracked after weeks of getting right. It's people are incentivized to do it, right? Because either it gives them some sort of street credit or there's a financial gain at the end. So, and that's the same with when I say hackers, I really mean like the bad people, right? Because you get good hackers too, right? People that actually do this sort of thing, but help companies prevent and mitigate the risk. So what they do is perform these scans and then go to said company and say, hey, you guys have a problem. These are the things I found. I suggest you fix them. And guess what? I can help you fix them. So those sort of people.
So he makes money that's how he generates revenue, because he's okay.
Sort of transaction. And the companies that purely do just that, right? These are help companies sort of navigate the security the security field, just in terms of risk and governance.
Sure.
Wow, that's
amazing.
That's absolutely mind blowing.
I am. I'm shocked. I'm shocked too. But I think we've always known that. But I mean, it's actually that simple.
It easy or that quick,
Well, I think just Bandit's so good at it that it made it look easy. But like you said, it's not that simple. But it's definitely doable. I mean, where someone's location is. You know where someone's IP. I mean, it's maybe it is that simple. In the bigger scheme of things, especially for those professional hackers that can do this in their sleep. You know what I mean? They obviously have the right. They write their own programs to do the penetrations. I'm assuming, hey, Bandit.
Sure.
Yeah. Look, and I mean, just remember how this all started off, right? It was you, a human being, clicking on a link, right? Security is always the weakest chink in the chain, right? And unfortunately, it's always human beings, right? We come up with bad passwords, we store them in the wrong places, and we just make it easier for the people who mean it. So just common sense, keep that in mind, and just use complex passwords. If something doesn't look safe, don't click on it. I mean, that's That's the core knowledge you really need to have, and then you should be fine.
My go-to is always to look at the email address. If I get something from, for example, SaaS, I look at the email address, I look at the domain, and see if that looks right. I've seen something where they managed to even jukes that for somehow. I don't even know how they did that.
Yeah. So
but where they can actually write off the domain.
Yeah, you cannot fake a domain, right? And the command I showed you there, who is, you can do that in a web browser as well. You can go type in who is in Google and the domain name, and it'll come back with something similar. Because those registers are like they security providers, right? It's their job to make sure that you are you, right? That's part of when you register. You have to provide like your business number and a whole bunch of identification to show that you are you. So it's their job to be secure, right? So you can't fake a domain. So if ever you're in doubt, go and check the domain online. If it doesn't look right, if it's got some guy from India or Hyderabad or somewhere, then it's probably fake, right? And you can go and do a whois on SARS, and it'll show you the information. And if it ever changes, then then there's a problem.
Sure. Now, look, I think I'm almost had, I think my heart's under pressure again, second time today after the rugby last night. But it's definitely been an eye-opener, Bandit. And I think that's what we're doing. We're trying to create this awareness, trying to warn guys out there. And I mean, if I can come across it 2 or 3 a day, I'm sure that everyone else listening or watching is doing the same thing. You just don't even realize it. I mean, how many times do I get the emails, oh, you've just won the US lottery of this, and click on this link, and or this person's died and his estate is found you and wants to give you everything. I mean, come on, guys. It sounds too good to be true. It usually is, isn't it? But be careful. I think that's it. Just be careful. Think twice before just clicking on anything, on any links, especially if they look sketchy or they're promising things that are just too good to be true. I mean, that's my opinion. Oh, easy.
PD, I think as well, one also needs to know their personal financial situation really well. If you know you owe the taxman money and you receive something like that, obviously you are not getting money due to you from this tax man.
Correct.
If you know you are not, if you haven't dealt with DHL or any postal company in the last couple of days or weeks or paid money, then obviously this is not due to you. Just leave it alone. If someone wants to give you something, they will phone you, make arrangements, pitch up at your doorstep and say, thank you, sir, here's your gift or your voucher or your whatever, and have a good day, and you don't have to pay anything. If it's too good to be true, it most usually, you said it right, PD, too good to be true, it most usually is. Just leave it alone and build your own wealth, build your own whatever, your own income, your own refunds, know what you're doing.
Know where you stand in all respects. Exactly that. Yeah. Bandit, any last wise words of advice from your side?
I mean, I think I've said it before a number of times. Common sense. Make sure you look at things. I mean, there are solutions to these kind of problems, right? For the viewers and those who want to know, there's an application or site called Know Before. That's KNOWBE and the number 4. Basically, it sends you emails and basically trains you to not click on these links, right? So it'll randomly links, and you'll click on it, and it'll tell you, you clicked on the link you shouldn't have. But what it's doing is it's training you over time to recognize the patterns of these types of.
I never knew about that.
And go there, sign up, have a look at it. It's just another tool to help you, educate yourself and become more aware of these sort of things.
I'm definitely going to be checking that out. It's almost like training your brain to look out for this type of stuff. And I think it's definitely important. Jeez. Bandit, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, I've got some photos to sell off on the internet now. So
although easy, I don't think you're going to get much.
Well, look, Bennett, I think since the last time we heard from you, we understand your company's gone through some changes in your business. You now trade as what's it, Hills IT. You finally got a website going. So for those who are interested to get in touch with you and learn more about this or to take on your services, we'll drop that in the link below in the description box, and people can have a browse through that. But Hills IT,
and on,
that's it.
and www.chatterdogs.com. We'll put it there on the homepage as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so absolutely. No, thank you, Bandit. And yeah, I think everyone, if you've watched this episode, please like and subscribe. I've learned a lot from this. This is one of the most valuable, well, from an information perspective, episodes we've had to date. Mind blasting, as they say. So, Owizi, are you going to finish us off?
I think that's why the channels become so important, is because we get the real experts in the field to come and give it to us like it is. There's no sugarcoating here. There's no beating around the bush. It's straight up in your face, live, raw, uncut, and this is what it is, and this is what you deal with, and this is how you protect yourself. So yes, excellent channel. It's going places. Great experts on. Bennett, I think you're gonna be back again where we discuss VPNs, and that's a whole nother can of worms we're gonna open up there. We're looking forward to that because a lot of opportunity there as well, and money to be spent and saved. But for now, we're just gonna say cheers and peace out, guys. This is PD, Pandit, and Owizi saying peace out and take it easy until the next time. Sayonara.
Sayonara. Ciao.
Cheers.
3, 2, 1.